So Avengers Doomsday is slowly approaching and it's coming out December 18th of this year. And we've just got the fourth and final trailer for the movie. Well, it's kind of hard to tell because, there's been some rumors and speculation that we could be getting a fifth teaser trailer that's like, actually focused on Doctor Doom. But I'm thinking this is probably the last trailer we're gonna get before like the official trailer. So yeah, I thought I would go ahead and rank these four trailers that we have gotten from worst to best. Or like not really worst to best, but like just like how much it made me excited for the movie. So like from least exciting to the most exciting is how we're gonna go ahead and rank these. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Alright, so I don't think it's any surprise, but at the bottom, like for the trailer that just didn't really do anything for me, was the Steve Rogers trailer, the first trailer that we got, because, like I just said, this trailer didn't really do a whole lot. It was just mostly there to confirm that Chris Evans is coming back as Captain America, which it's hard to say if he's going to come back as Captain America because the trailer just shows him as Steve Rogers, and like the trailer description and everything just simply says Steve Rogers will return. There's no mention of like him coming back as Captain America or anything like that. It is just simply Steve Rogers will return. So it might be like kind of like a Infinity War situation where he is in the movie as Steve Rogers, but he's not really Captain America, if you know what I'm saying. Now, there is a chance he could very well put on the suit and be Captain America, and we could have two Captain Americas because, as we all know, Sam Wilson is the current Captain America in the main Marvel timeline. So it could be that, he could wear the suit in Avengers Doomsday. He could not. It's kind of hard to say. But he does have a baby in the teaser trailer, and that might be one of the reasons why Doom is going after him because, the baby's technically not supposed to exist because of the fact that he went back in time and everything. So, it could be that Doctor Doom is going after Chris Evans' baby or Steve Rogers' baby, and the Avengers are like trying to prevent that from happening. And like I said, there's a chance that Steve Rogers could suit up as Captain America in this movie, but I wouldn't say it's like 100% guaranteed. It could be like an Infinity War situation where he wears the suit, but he's not really Captain America. He just has the suit on, and maybe he could get a new shield in the movie or something. It's kind of hard to say, but yeah, this trailer didn't really do a whole lot for me, so that is why it is number 4 on this list. Now, moving on to number 3, we have the Thor trailer. Now, I was kind of going back and forth between whether or not I wanted to put the Thor trailer at number 3 or the Wakanda trailer at number 3. But I figured, you know what? The Thor trailer, again, didn't really do that much for me, although it did do a lot more than the Steve Rogers trailer. Like I said, the Steve Rogers trailer was just kind of there to confirm that Chris Evans is coming back for Avengers Doomsday. So, the Thor trailer, we already knew Thor was going to be in Avengers Doomsday. So, there's that. And also, it's just the Thor, like, kind of like monologuing that he can hopefully return to his daughter that he got at the end of Thor Love and Thunder. The daughter love that he, got from Gore the God Butcher. Because at the end of Thor Love and Thunder, Gore was basically going to make a wish to, kill all gods and all that. But then he realized that the error in his ways after he saw like Thor and Jane having a moment together. So he was like, oh, instead, I'm going to wish for my daughter to come back because his daughter died at the start of the movie. So he instead made a wish for his daughter to come back, and that is how Thor ended up with the daughter of love. So, the trailer for Thor is just kind of him monologuing or like him praying to his father to survive the battle that he's going to face against Doctor Doom, which is kind of crazy when you have a literal god praying that he can survive a fight. That is how, powerful Doctor Doom could be. But yeah, this trailer did do a little bit more than the Steve Rogers trailer for me because I did like the monologue that Thor was, saying to Odin. That is who he's praying to in the trailer. I did like that, like, speech that he was saying, or of how he's like, oh, I never really asked for a child or anything like that, but, you know, you gave me this child, so it's like now I need to fight to survive so that I can return home to my child. And he's like saying like, oh, please hear my words and all that. So I did like the Thor trailer more than the Chris Evans Steve Rogers trailer, just because it did a bit more with like, words, because the Steve Rogers trailer, there was like no dialogue in that trailer. It was literally just there to confirm that Chris Evans is coming back and that he has a kid now, and that was it. There was no like dialogue or anything like that. But with the Thor trailer, there was a bit more because it was obviously his speech and all that, and it shows that he has the short hair again because, as we all know, in Thor: Love and Thunder he has the long hair again, and obviously in Avengers Infinity War he had the short hair, but in Avengers Endgame when he became depressed and everything, he grew out his hair again, and that's why in Thor: Love and Thunder he had the long hair. But it appears that Avengers Doomsday he's going back to the short hair, which, I mean, hey, that's not that bad at all because I did like the short hair Thor that we got in Avengers Infinity War, so I'm sure the Russo brothers are going to do Thor perfectly fine. They're going to do him better than he was in Thor: Love and Thunder, because in that movie he was kind of like a joke. He didn't really take anything seriously, but it appears that they're going back to a more serious Thor with Avengers Doomsday, so that's nice. Yeah, that's why the Thor trailer is at number 3. And of course, at the number 2 spot, we have the Wakanda trailer. Now, like I said, I was kind of going back and forth between the Thor trailer and the Wakanda trailer, but I decided to put the Wakanda trailer at number 2 because this trailer just has like more characters interacting and everything, and it shows like the brand new suits that Shuri's going to be wearing in the movie. Because with Thor, we didn't really get a good look at the suit that he has on, but we just knew that he has the short hair again. We just didn't really get a good look at the suit that he had on. But with the Wakanda trailer, we get a clear look at Shuri's new suit, and I gotta say, it looks pretty dang fire because it's kind of like the suit that she had in Wakanda Forever, except it has blue accents on it because, as we all know, at the end of Wakanda Forever, Shuri ended up making a truce with Namor and Talokan, so that is kind of why she has the blue accents on her suit now. And also we get to get a glimpse of Namor in the movie, and he kind of has like the black and gold theme going on in his costume, obviously for the Wakanda alliance. So I do like that, and it also tells us that yes, M'Baku is the king of Wakanda. He goes to meet Ben Grimm, aka the Thing, and they have a nice little interaction together.
King M'Baku of Wakanda.
Ben, Yancey Street, between Broome and Grand.
So yeah, I do like the Wakanda trailer more than the Thor trailer just because there's more characters interacting. You get a clear look at the suits that they're wearing, and they look pretty dang nice. And Shuri's talking about how she's lost everyone that has mattered to her, like obviously with T'Challa and her father and her mother, like everyone in her family has died. So that's what she's like talking about in the trailer. And then she's talking about how the king has duties to like prepare people for the afterlife, and she has her duties as Black Panther because she's not really interested in the throne, so that's why she ended up giving it to M'Baku. So yeah, overall, the Wakanda trailer did do a lot more than the Thor trailer, and it made me a bit more excited for the movie because you finally get to see the Fantastic Four interact with other characters in the MCU, because like I said, it shows M'Baku meeting Ben Grimm, and they have a nice little interaction there towards the end of the trailer. So yeah, the Wakanda trailer is number 2, and coming in at the number 1 spot is probably no surprise, but it is the X-Men trailer, and that is just because, you get to see Professor Xavier, you get to see Magneto, and Magneto's doing this nice little speech about how, death comes for us all, and it's not about, who you are when you're alive. The question is, or it's not, are you prepared to die? It's who would you be when you close your eyes. That was a nice little speech that he was giving there. And then right at the end of that speech, when you see Magneto and Professor X, it then cuts to Cyclops, aka James Marsden, in his comic book accurate suit. And I do like that they finally gave him the blue and yellow suit, because, he's never had the comic accurate suit. He's always had that, weird, black suits that they gave them in the X-Men movies. I never understood what the point of that was, because I'm pretty sure it was the director of those movies didn't really like the, comic book suits. so he just gave them all black suits, and it just all looked kind of weird. So yeah, they're finally giving Cyclops the blue and yellow suit, no trunks, but you know what? It's okay because I think at the end of the day, the trunks would look kind of weird on him. So yeah, he has the blue and yellow suit on, minus the trunks, and he rips off his visor, and he has like this huge like, plasma blast of like just energy going on, because as we all know, when Cyclops takes off his mask, it's basically just like this huge explosion, because that's what happens when he gets super angry. So the Cyclops, or the Dooms, or what am I saying, the X-Men trailer for Doomsday is like probably the trailer that got me like the most hyped for the movie, because the Steve Rogers trailer was kind of the Thor trailer was pretty good, the Wakanda trailer did get me pretty excited for the movie, but the X-Men trailer was just super cool. It was cool to see Magneto, it was cool to see Professor Xavier, the music that was going on in the X-Men trailer was pretty cool, and like I said, the speech that Magneto was giving was pretty cool, and then seeing James Marsden in the blue and yellow suit was really cool to see. So yeah, that is why the X-Men trailer is ranked number 1. And yeah, also what's pretty interesting about this X-Men Doomsday trailer is like, why is Cyclops ripping off his visor in anger? It's probably because he just witnessed a bunch of his X-Men crew get murked by the Sentinels, because if you look closely in the background of the scene of Cyclops ripping off his visor, you can see Sentinel feet walking behind him. So it's like, did Doctor Doom send in those Sentinels, or did the Sentinels like just so happen to randomly show up? It's kind of hard to say, but yeah, I'm thinking we're going to witness a lot of X-Men characters die in this movie, because there's only like a few X-Men characters that are confirmed for Avengers Doomsday. We have, of course, James Marsden and Cyclops, and we have Professor X and Magneto that were shown in the trailer, but then we also have Nightcrawler, Beast, Gambit, and Mystique. So that's basically it. We only have those characters confirmed for the movie. So it's like, what about Wolverine or something like that? Like, do we witness Wolverine dying? It's probably a situation where Cyclops just witnessed a bunch of his X-Men crew die, and that is why he's ripping off his visor in anger. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to theorize about, but yeah, that is why this trailer made me the most excited for the movie, because it's just cool to speculate what could happen, because we did get, like, those set photos that showed, like, the X-Mansion and, like, rubble and everything. There was, like, those, like, meteor comets, or, like, it looked like there was, like, the damage on, like, the ground and everything. So, obviously, shit's gonna go down in the X-Mansion, but yeah, it's pretty cool to theorize what could happen, but that's why the X-Men trailer is number 1, because it's just pretty cool to see what happened in that trailer. So yeah, back to the video. I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Let me know what you thought of these 4 Doomsday trailers, and if there are any more trailers that are going to be coming out, because I don't think we'll get a 5th trailer. I mean, it's possible we could get a 5th trailer, but I don't know. I feel like the 5th trailer would be the official trailer, and I don't know if we'll get it at the Super Bowl, because some people are speculating we could be getting the 5th trailer at the Super Bowl, but I feel like it's more likely that we would be getting the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer at the Super Bowl rather than Avengers Doomsday. But I mean, hey, maybe we could get both, who's to say? But yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this video. We are only 41 subscribers away from 700. We are at 659, so if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. And like I said, let me know what you thought of the 4 Doomsday trailers that have been rolling out and how you guys would rank them. So I have the X-Men trailer at number 1, I got the Wakanda trailer at number 2, the Thor trailer at number 3, and the Steve Rogers trailer at number 4. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.